Part 2. The long road, Evershade's shadow. The forest had been still for too long. No wind stirred the high canopy, and the silver threads of moonlight across the ground lay unbroken. Kalen stopped. We're not alone. Pale shapes emerged between the trunks, cloaked and silent. Their faces were hidden, but their eyes, cold and metallic, caught the light. The first arrow struck home and did nothing. The figure turned toward Kalen without sound. Then the forest erupted. Brannick's hammer shattered one back into the dark. Thyra's shield slammed into another, her sword cutting deep, only for the wound to close. Nira's twin blades flashed, but the pale ones healed as quickly as they were struck. They mend, Nira called. Strike the heart. Erendor drove his staff into the earth, a circle of blue fire, forcing the shadows to hesitate. Leora. Now she stepped forward, with the shard of the Sunstone in her hands. Light burst outward. The pale ones faltered. One lunged at her and met Caldress's blade instead. This time, it did not rise. The tide turned. Arrows, steel, and hammer blows found their marks. Soon, the last shadows stood apart, watching. The king knows you, it whispered, before vanishing into the dark. Through open country morning, found the fellowship quiet, the forest thinning into rolling meadow. They passed moss-covered ruins, shallow streams, and a milestone half buried in the earth. To Hollowspire, 5 days in fair weather to Blackstone Pass, 3, if the giants sleep. That night, they camped beneath a broken archway. Stories were shared. Brannick's iron hollow forges, Thyra's northern storms, Caldress's dragon fire. Leora listened, feeling the shards' faint pulse in time with their voices. On the 4th day, a column of smoke rose from the valley. They found a scorched battlefield, armor warped, banners burned, the earth blackened. Among the ashes lay a clawed print, larger than a wagon wheel. Not the pale host alone, Erendor said. Worm, Brannick muttered. The Blackstone Pass. The land rose into jagged rock, the wind sharp with snow. By evening, they reached the pass. 2 basalt pillars carved with deep runes, a massive chain strung between them across a chasm. A giant sat upon it, skin like old ice, club in hand. None cross without tribute, it rumbled. And if we refuse? Kalen asked. Then you pay in full. The club fell, shattering stone where Thyra had stood. Brannick met the next blow with his hammer. Nira's blades struck at the giant's legs to no effect. Kalen's arrows bit at the gaps in its icy hide. Erendor's fire seared its knee. Caldress's sword found its flank. Thyra climbed the chain itself, hacking at the links. Now, Erendor shouted. Kalen loosed one final arrow. It struck a weakened link. The chain split with a ringing crack. and the giant pitched backward into the abyss, its roar fading below. Descent to Hollowspire. Beyond the pass, the air warmed, but carried a bitter tang of ash. Sparse grass clung to the stones. 2 days later, the fortress city rose into view. Hollowspire's towers leaned like claws toward the sky. Its black walls streaked with soot. Lights glimmered faintly within. Beyond it, a storm circled over the Shadow King's lands, never breaking. That, Thyra said, is an unfriendly place. Kalen's gaze didn't leave the horizon, the last friendly one we'll see. They started down, the shard warm in Leora's hands. Above, the sky seemed to darken. Not with night, but with the weight of what waited beyond.